I think some people miscategorize this band as being sounding like Iced Earth, and I don't think it sounds anything like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is that they hone in on is my voice, which, it's cool. It's cool to have a distinctive voice, right? But
yeah,
at the same time, people like latch onto that and go, well, he's doing his ballad thing. It sounds like Iced Earth. It doesn't, it's not Iced Earth. We're not trying to be Iced Earth.
No.
Freddie has different backgrounds as far as, things they like. Now, actually, that's kind of the ironic thing, I guess. He and John both love Iron Maiden, but just take it from a different perspective, and Freddie's definitely got some Iron Maiden influence in there, but he's got a big death metal background. Death metal bands, and you can hear that in the writing. I mean, as far as like the technical death metal stuff, like Death. He was, big into that and big into Death, and just, that was his stuff, and even progressive metal, other progressive metal bands he really digs. So, I mean, he kind of pays tribute to all of his influences, I think. And we bounce stuff back and forth, man. So like something that he does in the music influences me, lyrically or melodically, or something that I do, lyrically or melodically in the vocals influences what he does. So it really is a real collaboration. We kind of bounce off each other, and we try to get better with each record and improve ourselves. So we've got a really good connection there with that. And yes, we're not trying to be Iced Earth. Sometimes it's going to sound like Iced Earth because, some of that stuff that people remember from Iced Earth, that's me. I mean, I put my soul into those records, and so I do here, it's no different.
Yeah, I'll get to some of the Iced Earth stuff here in a minute, but one of the biggest differences that I noticed about this band as opposed to Iced Earth, your vocal style is a lot more aggressive. And I think one of the cool things is that in Iced Earth, I think you sang a lot more, where in this band, you still do some of that, but you have your vocal styles a little more aggressive. You mentioned some of the death metal, influences like Death and some of the technical stuff in Iron Maiden. And I think that you're singing a little more aggressively on these albums than anything, most of the stuff you did in Iced Earth.
Yeah, I think you're right. And part of that is, the stuff that influenced me, big time when I first got into metal. I was influenced by, Bay Area, man. That's like hit like right in the sweet spot.
Yep.
When I was 13 years old, Kill 'Em All came out, and it was like that changed my life forever. You know what I mean? So Bay Area stuff, everything that followed after Metallica, broke loose. It's definitely a big influence. Testament, huge influence. Chuck Billy, freaking love him. Forbidden, Russ Anderson. I mean, just all those guys were really influential, especially Russ, because he was like kind of one of the crossover kind of guys. He did the real gruff stuff, but then he did the too. So that was really big influence on how I approach things. And I just think it fits with what Freddie's writing. I think it just fits. Yeah. I have fun with it. So that's my thing. I can do what I want, with this stuff. It's just what I do.
This show's named after a Bay Area band and one of its songs. So
nice.
Named after a song on Bonded by Blood by Exodus.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's kind of, so favorite Bay Area band album. If I had to put you on the spot now, what would it be?
Oh man.
If you had to pick one, pick the first one that comes to mind.
Just like for just pure rawness, Forbidden Evil. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just dirty and raw, and that's that kind of that build up. It's just really cool stuff, man. I mean, it really kind of takes you back, So it's nice that again, I don't know a lot of those guys. I do know Skinner, who's the new singer for Forbidden. He's kind of a Facebook, certainly a Facebook friend of mine, and but then I met the other guys in Forbidden back in the day. We were doing, I'm trying to think of what festival that was. Anyway, doesn't matter. I met those guys, so that was kind of like really cool because I hadn't seen them really since I was a fan. You know, going over to Baltimore and seeing them over there. I saw them. I don't know. There's an old there was an old club over there called in Pasadena, Maryland, called Network, and I saw a lot of cool bands there, as well as Hammerjacks, of course, was big. Got to see saw Pantera for the first time there. It was like on their first tour at Hammerjacks. That was just a great venue. Anyway, I could go down memory lane, but that's yeah. So yeah, listen to a lot of that stuff, man. I was all about that, big time. And again, Testament, practice what you preach. That was a pretty damn cool record. Very groovy record, well produced, just super cool stuff.
Hey everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks for watching. And if you like what you see and hear on this show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime I do post a video. And if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.